You've heard all the horror stories about how much divorce costs, how long it takes, so you may have decided, I'm going to take the route to go online and get the forms. I can fill it out myself. I can read and write. Why do I need a lawyer to file this paperwork for me so that I can get divorced? Here's some hidden risks you need to know about in a DIY divorce. First of all, divorce is a very structured process, and there are certain forms the judge is going to require you to file, certain testimony you're going to have to put out, certain child support forms that are going to have to be filed even if you don't pay child support. Those things are going to have to be there, and if you mess them up, you're going to wind up in court, whereas on a non-contested divorce, you shouldn't even have to go into the courtroom. And the risks are you're going to take more time, more money, and more aggravation doing it on your own than if you just spend a little bit of money, hired a lawyer, and got it done correctly and quickly. In your divorce, small details matter. And you may think, how important could it be? I'm going to tell the judge what we want. He's going to give it to us. We're going to be done. Small details matter, especially in a DIY divorce, because words make a big difference. Even where commas are, you may have heard of an Oxford comma, which is about whether or not you put a comma after the last, little thing in a string of words before and. There's a case recently that the entire case turned on whether or not the Oxford comma was there. And so little details really do matter. In your divorce case, little details matter when it comes to the time you're going to spend with your children and whether you get even or odd years, whether you're going to have Christmas morning or that he gets them on Christmas afternoon, about whether child support is going to be paid weekly or monthly. There are all kind of reasons where little details matter in your divorce. So if you are going to try to do a divorce on your own, be very careful. Read every word of the forms you get. Make sure you understand the meaning of everything. Make sure your spouse understands the meaning of everything so that those little details won't come back to bite you later on. When you try to do a divorce on your own, there are little details that can cause you problems. A lot of the details that lawyers can help with are really going to be when it comes down to financial stuff. If you don't want to split retirement accounts, we need to lay out specifically in there that a detail like you each knowingly and voluntarily waive the right to any investments or retirement accounts owned by the other party. That's very important. When you get down to the calculation of child support, and a lot of people get caught up on this issue and get a non-contested divorce kicked out by the court and won't get accepted because they share equal time with their kids. And they think, you know what, I don't want child support. They don't want child support. We're just going to put in there that we agree to no child support. And then you don't file the correct child support forms, or maybe you don't know that when the law changed recently and requires joint custody situations to still have child support ordered, you may not know you've got to include a child custody award in there. So these details are things that a lawyer really can help you with and probably make the process easier and less expensive than if you even try to do it on your own. It probably seems a little strange to think about, but the truth is you can save a little bit of money on your non-contested divorce by using a lawyer versus trying to do things on your own. So many times, cases that get filed with the court on a non-contested divorce that you've done on your own may not have proper forms attached. Maybe you didn't include the deposition you need. Maybe things weren't notarized, or maybe important details are left out that the judge has to have in the paperwork that's filed in order to divorce you from your spouse. And then you've got to hire a lawyer who has to go to court, which would not be normally required on a non-contested divorce, fix forms that would have been easier if they just used their forms to begin with. And in our office, for instance, it's going to cost you about twice as much. If you have filed a divorce on your own, there's problems, we have to fix it and then go to court with you to get it fixed, even on this, negotiated issue. It's going to cost almost twice as much as it would just simply to call our office, have us do a non-contested divorce for you. We have both sides sign everything, we file it with the court, 30 days later you're divorced. It's so surprising and hard to think about, but you really could save money by hiring a lawyer to do your non-contested divorce in the first place. So if you're wondering what else you might not know about a non-contested divorce, what other pitfalls you could face, call our office today. We do many, many non-contested divorces every month, every year. We're ready to help you with yours.